Hey y'all, what's up? I told you I was getting my YouTube channel back started again, and now I'm finally ready with my very first video in a while. And today I'm going to teach you a simple tutorial on how to create Instagram graphics with Canva. I know sometimes, some of you have Illustrator or you have Photoshop, and me being a self-taught designer, I know how confusing those platforms can be if you don't regularly use them on a daily or weekly basis. So the great thing is somebody thought of the genius idea of Canva.com, and so I often use it to just create simple little graphics quickly. So what I want to do is show you how to use that platform so you can create bomb Instagram graphics very easily. Okay, so we are now in Canva, canva.com. And this is the initial screen that you will see when you sign up for an account. And it's completely free. The only time you really have to pay is when you use certain design elements that they require you to pay. And some of those are like only $1. So it's very, very affordable. I want you to pay attention to this top part here where it says create a design, because these are all the most popular things I think that people need when it comes to creating graphics. But I want to show you when you click on the plus sign, it takes you to a new page where you have different topics. So you can literally create PDFs and PNGs and JPEGs and stuff for digital as well as stuff for print. So I love, love, love Canva. The one we want to focus on obviously is social media. It is an 800 by 800 pixel image. So it's a perfect square, which is what we need. So let's click on that. And then it's going to open up a new document for you. Okay, so as you can see to the left, they have pre-made layouts, which is cool to use. I never use them just because I want to create something original and something that's different. So the next place you want to go to on the left here, which is elements. This is where you'll probably spend most of your time. It has most of the design elements in it. It has icons, it has illustrations, charts, lines, shapes, frames. And what frames are basically you can add them to your artboard and you can literally drag and drop a photo in them. I use this most of the time for when I'm creating Instagram mockups or mood boards. So where I want you to pay attention to is the shapes. This for me is the best place for me to start because you can kind of play around with it. You can start with a circle if you want, and you literally have to click on it and it drops it right square in the middle of your artboard. And so you can just kind of play around with it, making it smaller, bigger. Circles aren't really my thing, so I'm going to try the square. A lot of times I play around with the square and I'll change the transparency on it, which you can add. Everything that you need to edit your object is up here in this white bar at the top. Whether you're dealing with text or whether you're dealing with an icon, everything you need to edit it is up here in this white bar. And you can change the transparency, or if you're used to Illustrator or Photoshop, it would be opacity by changing that. Obviously, you can't really tell because there's no image behind it. But I don't want to do that this time. I'm going to play around with the triangle. And if you all know in Photoshop, there is a way to create triangles easily, or Illustrator, sorry. But it doesn't get any easier than this, y'all. Like, you literally drag it to where you want, pull this out, boom. Look how quickly you've got a perfect right triangle when we're trying to create this kind of graphic. So it's just very simple. Now what I want to do is change the color. So I'm going to click on it again. This white bar is going to pop up, and you want to go to the left where you're going to change your color. Click on that. And you can use the default colors that they have, or this is where you can incorporate your brand colors. My color is blush, so you can enter in the color code for it. I've kind of memorized mine by now. And there you have the blush color. And the great thing about what Canva does is it keeps the colors that you use frequently within this particular document. If you go into a new document, you're going to have to enter the colors again. But that also goes for quickly. I want to show you over here on the left, background. If you want to change the background, it takes the color over here as well. You have my blush color, and you can change the background, or you can create, or you can add a pattern background. Like I said, all of these are free until you start getting into these they're only $1. So if you see something you like that's $1, that's really not a big investment at all. So let's go back to elements because I want to add something else. So you have your solid shapes, and then you have your outlines. I want to add an outline, square outline. So this border is a little thicker than I would like. In Illustrator, you may be used to doing, if you're familiar with that, or Photoshop, you may be used to adjusting the stroke. But for this one, all you have to do is literally shrink it down to the size that you want. I want to make mine a little thicker. And you see how the border thins out. And what you're going to do is literally just drag it out from there, and it will keep its thin border, which I love. I think that's so simple and so easy. So boom, there you have it. And you see how quickly we've created basically the foundation of our graphic in probably less than 5 minutes. So now what we need to do is either you can go ahead and add text, and this can be your graphic, or you can add an image. So if you click down here on uploads over here on the left, this is where I've uploaded all the photos that I've used in my Instagram graphics, or for past projects for clients or personal projects for myself. This is where it will go when you drag and drop it. So I want to use an image in my graphic. So let's just pick something simple and quick and easy. Let's see here. Okay, here, let's use this. This is a flat lay I did for a client actually, but it's a perfect square, so it's easy. If it's not a perfect square, you can expand it outside of the artboard to fill up the space that you're looking to fill up. And that works sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so now we have literally everything we need except for the text. So let's say that this graphic is for like a boutique or something like that. So let's go over to text. You have 3 different default settings. Now you can change either one of these. You can change the font. They even have some layouts already created for you, which I never use. I usually start with the middle one. So let's say this is like a flash sale, right? So I'm going to go ahead and type in flash, and I want to change the font. I love using sans serifs, and this is what I'm going to tell you about fonts. Try not to use, if you have a handwritten font, or a curvy font, or something like that, or a script font, try not to use that same script font in your graphics. And I'm only saying this because it can become a little redundant and oversaturated when you use that same font everywhere. And that's why I like to use serifs and sans serifs, because they're so simple that you can use them all the time. So I like to stick with those. My logo is handwritten, but I never really use that in my graphics. So for this one, I think I'm going to go with Lato, which is one of my favorite sans serifs. And a new feature, relatively new, that I like is that they allow you to space out your letters, which before then I used to just put a space manually in between every letter. But now it allows you to space out your letters, which I love doing that. So I'm going to do that for Flash. If you have 2 lines of text, you can change the line height in between the 2 lines of text. So the next thing I want to do is add sale, which I want to make a little bit bigger, but I'm going to go ahead and type that in, and I'm going to change that to Lato heavy, so you can have a variety in weights when it comes to, and it's just more appealing to the eye than just everything being the same weight and the same size. You try to give that's what helps the viewer's eye flow up and down your graphic. So I like this. This is obviously, I'm going to make this bigger. This goes up all the way up to 144, but I think I'm going to try and start with 80 for sale. So I'm going to go up to like 88 or 96. Okay, so Flash. So this can go either way. Either it can stay the same size. I think I might make it a tad bit bigger. Okay, I think that's good. And so again, you have guides that help you to line up everything, which is lovely. And again, what's great about Canva is some of the things you can do in Illustrator and Photoshop you can do here. So in Illustrator, you can drag your mouse over everything and it selects everything. You can do the same thing in Canva. There are a lot of the same shortcuts as far as copy, paste, and undo and redo that you can do in Canva. So I'm really just trying to select the text. And I can put it over here in my, over my, the solid shape, just so you can read it clearly, which is cool. I probably would make it a little bit bigger. Now the difference with Canva is just dragging it keeps its shape versus where in Photoshop and Illustrator, if you click shift, that's what helps it keep its shape. But in Canva, if you click shift and drag, it's going to change the shape. It's like more the freeform sizing. So don't click shift if you want to keep the shape. So that's cool. I'm okay with it. I do want to add one more layer underneath. And let's say we're going to do limited time only. This time I'm not going to pick a sans serif, but a serif. And my favorite go-to serif in Canva is Bodoni. I like using it in Illustrator and Photoshop as well, but my go-to in those platforms are D dot, or is D dot. So, and I'm going to italicize it, and you don't have to highlight it to change it. You can literally just click it and it does it. And I'm going to place it underneath here. So that adds another layer. And for me, the letters are a little too close together, so I'm going to space them apart a tad bit. Boom. So you can put more detail on this if you want to. Now, I don't really like it over there in that corner. So I'm going to put it slap in the middle. And I think it's big enough to where, you can read it. You can also play around with the transparency of the photo and making it a little bit lighter. Oops, sorry. The thing is, the photo is... Okay, let's change this transparency, make it a little bit lighter so you can see the text a little bit more. And there you have it. Now, what I will say is you can either leave this triangle as a solid color, which is not bad. I actually kind of like it, but you can also play with it, give it a little visual interest by adding a little bit of transparency to that. And it just adds a little bit more something, not too much. So there you have it. There's a graphic, and I think this was under 15 minutes, maybe under 30 minutes. I can't really see the timer, but it didn't take long at all, basically. And so the great thing about this is, if you want to stay consistent and keep the same layout for your graphics, all you have to do is click this little copy icon here to the right, and it copies it for you, and you can change the color of the triangle, you can change the image, and you can change the text, but you still have that same layout, and it's consistent. And that's one thing I always preach about, is creating consistent graphics for your Instagram grid, and not having it all over the place. So, or if you don't want to use that layout, you can click add new page. It takes the photo with it, but you can delete it, and you can start fresh and new and start a whole new different graphic. So I have my own file with all of my social media graphics in it, so you can keep it all in one place. It's very easy to download and rename. So let's name this Flash Sale. Right? And then we can download it. And it gives you different options. So you have JPEG, you have PNG, which is recommended for the web. And you have, if you want to print it, they have a print PDF and a standard PDF that you would share via email, or, it would just be a digital file. So, and then you can either print or save all the pages, which you will download it into a zip file, or you can select the artboards that you want to print. So it's very, very easy, not hard to understand. It's so quick. Like, I think they even have a mobile app which you can probably create stuff on the fly or on the go. So I just wanted to share this pot of gold with you, because I think that as a designer who, normally operates in Illustrator and Photoshop, this is my go-to, like when I'm creating simple graphics. So I know that it could help some of you all as well who are not, designers particularly. So, and again, if you feel like you can't come up with all this, you've got your layouts, and you can customize those if you want. So there you have it. So how was it? I hope that was as quick and easy for you as I tried to make it. While design is very important when it comes to content for social media, it doesn't have to be this long, drawn out, confusing, frustrating process. So I hope that this shed a little bit of light. I hope that this helps you. I would love to know how you did with this video. Please leave me comments, send me emails. I'm on Instagram, hit me up. I'm so excited about this YouTube channel again, and I hope that you guys will join me for the journey of more tutorials and some other little funky videos in between. Thank you so much. See you next time.